Hi, this is Al Williams of Sunset Hill Solutions. In this video, I'll walk you through how to implement social groups and social functionality with the Community Edition of DotNetNuke 7. So as mentioned, this is the Community Edition of DotNetNuke, and we'll be implementing social functionality. I just want to make sure you understand this is not the DNN Social product. This is a commercial product sold by DotNetNuke that has enhanced social features more than what you can get with the Community Edition, but I think if you have a look at this video, you'll see there's quite a lot of functionality available with the free version of DotNetNuke, and it may or may not meet your needs, but I'm sure you'll be able to decide that after watching this video. One thing I want to also point out, this site that I'm going to be doing this demo on is one that's under development. It's called learnbi4.com, and the only commercial modules that I have on this site, I purchased a commercial skin, so you can see this isn't the standard DNN skin. And I'm also using a commercial blog article module called EasyDNNnews. At the very end of this video, I'm going to show how you can integrate some of the DNN social functionality with this module, but the bulk of this video will be with the core free version of DotNetNuke and how to implement the social groups within version 7 of DotNetNuke. Okay, so let's get started. I've logged on as a super user, so I'm going to add a page, implement our social groups. So let's go to Pages, Add New Page, and we'll just call this Social. And we won't bother putting title or description or any of that information right now. And we want this to be after the resources page. And let's see what else. Include menu, yep. Permissions will make this page available to all users. And we'll go ahead and add the page. Now we'll go into edit mode. So you can see by default it put in an HTML module on this new page. I'm going to keep that module there because what I want to do is create information for people that are on the site but haven't registered or logged in, just to notify them that if they want to take advantage of the social functionality, they'll have to either create an account, or if they have an existing account, they'll have to log into the website. So I'm going to keep this module here for now. I'm not going to put anything in there until I get some of the social functionality working. So at this point I want to go ahead and add the social group module. So go to Modules, Add New Module, move over to find the social groups module. There we go. I'll click and drag it down right underneath the HTML module. So you see now that it's added the social groups module to this page, it gives you some information about this module, and it talks about the best way to configure the module. It also gives you this very handy command button here called auto configure. So what this will do is it's going to create a child page that shows all the social activity for the groups that have been defined. So I found this actually works really well, and I'm going to go ahead and click auto configure. And now we have the social groups configured. What it's actually done now is it's created a child group underneath this social page, and we'll see that in a few minutes. And this is going to show the activity for the new groups that we create. Before I go ahead and create any social groups on this page, I am going to put some information in this HTML module. Now this isn't something you have to do, this is just the way I want to configure this particular website to notify users that if they want to participate in the social groups, they're going to have to log into the site. So we'll go ahead and edit the content for the HTML module. So I've added some content here, welcoming the user to this page. Also have noted that since they're logged in and they're not registered on the site at the current time, they can't participate in the groups, but they can view the page. And so I also mentioned if you have an account with the site, please log in, a link to the login page, and if you don't have an account, you can register, a link to the registration page. So I'll go ahead and save this. I'll just change the container and the title for this module as well. So I'm going to go into Settings, module settings. So I've changed the module title to say Learn BI4 Social Groups Notification. I'm going to change the permissions. Now what I want to do here is have only unauthenticated users be able to see this, because if they're already logged in, there's no need for them to see this message. So I'm going to uncheck the Inherit View Permissions from Page, and so it's going to be visible to unauthenticated users. The other thing I want to do is I want to change the container for this particular module. So I've selected a different container, and I will go ahead and help update the module settings. So now we can see this notification that I've placed on the page, and it's only going to be visible to people who are at the site but haven't logged in or registered yet. I'm just going to close the edit mode here. I'm going to go ahead and create a new social group now. So I'll click on the Create New Group button. I have to give it a name and description. So I've called it Web Intelligence. I've given the group a description. I'll go ahead and choose a file to upload. So I've selected a group picture. Now, as far as the accessibility, you can create social groups that are public. Everyone can see and join them. You can make them public and also have it so that a moderator can review the new members to see if they want to add them to this group. Or you can make it private, and a private group, only the members who have been specifically added to this group by the administrator can see the group activity. We're going to leave this as public. I'll go ahead and create the group. So now we see we've created this Web Intelligence group. We're also now on the group activity page. So this was one of the child pages created when we did the auto configure of the social groups module. And we also see some activity in this group, and this is just a notification that I just created this social group. Let's go back to the social page. So now we see the Web Intelligence social group showing up on this page. The fact there's one member and some other information about this particular group. I'm going to add a second group now. So I've gone ahead and populated this. I've called it Information Design Tool for this group. I've selected a group picture and I've made it public. I'll go ahead and create the group. And now we have the Information Design Tool group as well. If I go back to the social page, we'll see both of those groups showing up. A couple things I want to point out at this point. If I click on one of these social groups, as I mentioned before, we go to a sub page called Group Activity. If I click on this Members link here, it's a sub page of Group Activity called Members. So these were added automatically when we had this module auto configured. Now I want to make sure that people on the site have access to these sub pages as well, and just to make sure that the permissions are for everyone to see the page, I'm going to go ahead and edit this page, go into Page Settings and Permissions. I'm just going to click on this button, Copy Permissions to Descendants, so that all users have access to these pages. Say yes, and permissions have copied successfully. Go ahead and cancel. At this point I just want to bring up one topic. When we go into one of the groups we created and we click on Members, you can see it shows a list of the members. Right now, of course, I'm the super user who just created this social group, so I'm the only one that shows up here. But what appears here in the member listing is customizable. And let me show what I mean by that. If I go to edit this page, here's the member directory module. If I go ahead and go into the settings, you'll see on the member directory settings tab, I can customize the template, I can customize the pop-up template, and there's a whole pile of administrative settings that can be configured for this to make it very flexible. A little bit later in the video, I actually am going to go ahead and change the item template, which will change what we see in the member directory listing. But that's going to be a little bit later on. I just want to point out right now that this is available. So we'll go ahead and we will cancel this and go back to the social page. Now at this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to log in as some of the users I've created on this site, and we're going to go ahead and post some join some groups, and post some updates. Now I'll go to the home page and I'll log out of the site. So now I'm on the site as an unauthenticated user. If I click on the social page, you'll see I get this notification right here. I can see the social groups, I can view the activity, but I really can't do anything here because I'm not logged into the website. So I'm going to go ahead and log into the site. I'm logging in as a user called B. Wilson. Log in. So you can see I am logged in now as Barb Wilson, one of the users I created for this website. And I'll go to the social page. And you can see I can view the social groups. I'm not seeing that notification that I saw before because I am logged into the site and I don't need to see that now. So I can, from this page, I can join a group right here. I can also go in and view the postings on this group and join it from this point. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to join the group. So now I belong to this group. From this page now I can leave the group if I want to. I can also post something to the wall on this group. So now logged in as Barb Wilson, I've just entered some information that I want to share with this group. Now you have some options available here. If you click on this little eye icon, you can limit who can see your postings in this group. If I want everyone to see them, that's the default. Community members only, so only people who've joined this group. I can have it so only friends, people that I have friended on this site, can view my postings, and also private. So we'll leave this as everyone. I'll go ahead and click share. So now we see the posting that I just made here into this group. Let's have a look at some more functionality. So now I'm logged in as Dave Edwards. This is another user account I created. I'm going to go ahead into the Information Design Tool group, and I'm going to join this group. So once I've joined a group, I can like comments that people have posted, and I can also comment on postings that people have made. So I'm going to go ahead and like this comment, and I'm going to add some information of my own. Welcome to the group, Barb. Comment. So now you can see what I've just typed underneath Barb Wilson's posting here. Okay, I'm still logged in as Dave Edwards, and now I want to post to this group. So I've just typed in some text. Really impressed with the functionality to create charts in Web Intelligence 4.0. I can attach images to the postings that you make on this. I'm going to go ahead and choose file from my computer, and I'll pick this chart image. So it's uploading the image from my machine, and I will go ahead and share this. So now I've added to this Information Design Tool group, and it has my comment and also the image that I attached to this posting. So you get the idea. This type of functionality that you can implement in your DotNetNuke website is very similar to what you can do in Facebook. We have a lot more control over the groups that you create, the type of information that can be shared, and so forth. And this is right within your DotNetNuke website. So I've added a bit more content to the Information Design Tool social group, and I'm logged in now as a user called Mary Brown. I want to show you a couple more areas of functionality that are a lot like Facebook. So I'm logged in as Mary Brown now, and I see this link to Barb Wilson, and I notice that she made a comment on this page. If I click on the link to Barb Wilson, I can see her profile, which at this point just has her picture. We can customize this, but now I'm logged in as Mary Brown. I want to add Barb Wilson as a friend, so I click on Add Friend, and now it says Friend Request Pending. If I log out as Mary Brown and in as Barb Wilson, you'll see now there's a notification that shows up right beside Barb Wilson's name. I click on this, it shows the friend request that I just sent when I was logged in as Mary Brown, so I can accept this request. And now I'm friends with that user who wanted to send me a friend request. So very similar to Facebook, that you can have friends that are part of the groups that you belong to. Now let's look at some of the more administrative functionality within the social groups module. I'm on the social page now. I'm going to go ahead and go into edit mode. So for the social groups module, I want to go into settings and permissions. So here we see that if you have a website where you want to allow, for example, let's say I wanted to have registered users the ability to go ahead and create groups, and I wanted to have a group that I've created called article moderators be a moderator of a group. So very flexible in terms of who you want to give permissions to create new groups within the social groups module, and also who can be a moderator of group activity. And this really, group moderator means that if a registered user creates a group, anyone in the article moderator role can approve that new group. If we had it like this, that means registered users can go ahead and create groups and it will be automatically approved. In this case, I'm going to leave it as is so that just the administrators can create groups, which is the way I want it for this particular website. Let's go ahead and cancel out of here since I didn't make any changes. Now, I did mention earlier, I'm going to go ahead and close the edit mode here, and I'm going to go to the information design tool group and have a look at the member listing. So here now we have more users who have registered on the site and who have joined this group, and we can see a little bit of basic information, their name and where they live, where they're from. I want to change this so that it'll also show their website address and their email. So let's have a look and see how we can do that. I'm going to go back into edit mode for this page, and for the member directory I'm going to go into settings, and in the member directory settings tab you'll see there are templates for the item, alternate item, pop-up template, and whether or not you want to implement pop-ups. We will do that. We won't change the pop-up template, but we will change the item template. What I typically like to do is not make the edits in here. I like to copy the text from this item template into a text editor, which I've done. I use a free text editor called Notepad++. So I've copied the contents of that template into this text editor. I have it formatted as HTML, so it's easier to do the editing here. So you'll notice I see the title and location show up as list items. If I go back to the site and if I cancel this, we'll see here is where the title and location show up in the template. So in the actual text editor I'm going to have to probably add a couple more lines here to show the email and the website address. Okay, so I made a copy of the item template file and just called it new, just in case I had to revert back to the original. So I've added a couple more line list items, one for the website and one for the email. For the website I have some HTML here that will actually link to the website with a href tag. And for the email, for now there's no links, it's just going to show the email for the user. I will attach a file to this YouTube video that has this template if you're interested in looking at the syntax, but it's just HTML substituted with tokens, so it's really not that difficult. Go ahead and copy this, go back to the website, and now I'm going to paste this into the item template and also the alternating item template. I'm going to enable this pop-up. I think I did that earlier. We'll just check it again. And So as you can see, in addition to the templates in this member directory settings tab, there's also a section for filters and sorting. I'm not going to change any of these. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about them. You can go ahead and try these different filters and sorting out and see how it works in your environment. Same with the search settings. You can display a search field, or you can choose not to, and then you can just determine which fields you want to have as part of that search. And the same thing with paging. If you want to have paging, if you only want to show 10 items per page, you would change it here, and you can disable paging. But as mentioned, I'm not going to change any of these default settings. The only thing I want to change was the item template. So I'll go ahead and update. So now if I go back to the main social page and I go into Information Design Tool and click on Members, we see now that for each of the members we have this pop-up that appears with their name and email address, but we also have in the main template, it does show their website address and their email address, and there's a link to the website address. If you click it, it's going to open up that link. So to recap what we've done so far is we've implemented the social groups module in a DotNetNuke 7 Community Edition website with basically the core functionality that comes with DotNetNuke 7 and the social modules that are available. The next part of this video is going to show how to integrate some of the social capabilities of DotNetNuke with third-party module that I use for the articles on this website. Okay, I'm logged back into the site as a super user. I'm going to go to my articles page, and once again, just to reiterate, this is showing how to implement or to tie in some of the social functionality in the core version of DotNetNuke with a third-party module. And this third-party module that I'm using is called EasyDNNnews. I'm going to go ahead to the Create New Article page because this has the articles module. I'm going to go to the edit page. Actually, I don't have to do that. I'm going to go right into the settings for this module. I'm just going to change a few of the settings for this particular module. I'm going to go into the permissions, and for this website I want to have registered users, give them the ability to upload documents, download documents, comment, etc., and also to create articles. So if you're a registered user on this site, you can go ahead and create articles. You can't, however, approve them. It'd have to be a user in the article moderator role. So that's what I want for the permissions. And the other thing I want to make sure when I scroll down to auto posting to journal and social networks, I want to make sure that this is checked. So it's going to automatically post to the journal. And we're not going to cover this in this video because this is for a third-party module, but if you use this particular EasyDNN News module, you can integrate with Twitter and Facebook if you want. We're not going to do that as part of this video. So I'm going to save and close. So go back to the home page. I'm going to log out as a super user. So right now I'm logged into this website as Frank Jones. So he is not an administrator, he's just a registered user of the site. If I go to my articles tab, because I'm a registered user, I see this link, create new article, and I can go ahead and add article. For this third-party module, I've just filled in some of the defaults, the title, new test article, the subtitle, we're testing for social integration, categories, summary of the article, and the article detail or content. Now if I scroll down a bit more in this module, we have the social security feature pop up, and you can restrict who sees your posting just like you can with the core version of the social group. So we're going to say everyone, and we'll save the article. So you'll notice the article I just posted doesn't show up, and that's because I'm a registered user of this site and an administrator has to go ahead and approve this article, which I'll do right away. Okay, I had logged in as a super user and I had approved the article Frank Jones created. Now I'm logged back in as Frank Jones, and I want to show you one step that I forgot in the creation of this article. The way I have this module set up, registered users can edit their own articles. So I'm going to click Edit Article. I'm going to scroll down to the Social Security box, and I have to select which group I want this to post to. So I'm going to say Information Design Tool, and update and close. Okay, so after Frank Jones went and saved the article, I logged in as a user in the article moderator role and went and approved this new test article with the EasyDNNnews module. So now if I go into the social page and I go into the Information Design Tool group, here we see the entry that Frank Jones just made, and it's been posted to the journal for Information Design Tool. So it's a good example of integrating third-party modules with the core DNN social groups functionality. So this was Al Williams of Sunset Hill Solutions. I hope if you are working with the social functionality in the community edition of DotNetNuke that this video will help you get started in implementing social groups and other social functionality in your .NET Nuke 7 website. Thanks for watching.